Hello again, Misfits. Today we're doing a snapshot on a game called Lacrimosa. And this game is being put out by Devir. It's actually not out yet, but we're actually super excited to be, we're actually got an exclusive copy of this, and they were nice enough to hand this to us and say, run with it. And we learned everything we could about this game. It is actually an awesome heavy Euro style based game. It's a victory point game, as it were, and it's based on Mozart's life. And you're trying to finish his last work, the Lacrimosa, by sponsoring composers and basically going throughout the journey of Mozart's life. It's very thematic. The components and everything else are very, very spot on. It's a gorgeous looking game. But we'll get into actual meat and potatoes here of the game in this video. Now, you have a victory point tracker, of course, keeps track of all your points. Each shield designates different players, of course, nothing too complicated there. Now, we have the top of the board. This is where you're going to buy various cards. Now, there's two types of cards in this game. You have memories, which are basically your hand of cards that you do actions from. And you have opuses. Now, these cards are permanent cards that you get that stay on your side of the board, and basically you're able to do multiple things with them, and I'll get into that in a second as well. You also have the option to travel around here, follow Mozart's journey, and you basically get one-time bonuses as you go along. You'll move the mover around, pay different amounts of money called ducats in this game, and basically triggers single bonuses. Then you also have the bottom part of the board where you sponsor composers. Now, the composers can be random, or are random actually, and they have different tiles, and as you pull off tokens from your board here, you'll put them in different spots on different parts of Lacrimosa and pick a composer to kind of finish in that area, basically giving you more bonuses. It's a point salad game. You're going to get a lot of points basically doing different things and managing your resources. So I'll get into the first part of the game, your card tableau here. You get 4 cards. You have 9 cards total, and your deck is always 9 cards. It's played over basically 4 turns, and you start out with 1 opus. This opus is kind of your starter opus. You have on your board here, you have different ways to keep track of your income. You have your money, of course, here, but you also have 3 different kinds of story income, more or less, or story points that you use to spend on various things. You have the black, the red, and the white, for lack of a better term. They're like basically Mozart tokens and travel tokens and writing tokens, but we just call them black, red, and white for now. And then you have a daily income. You have an income purse that will basically at the end of every round give you extra income. These are your tableau areas where you put out your cards, and this is where you use these markers to get one-time bonuses to sponsor composers to work on Mozart's last piece. So every round, the round will start, you'll have 4 cards in your hand from the start of the game to the end of the game. Now, you'll start with 4 cards, and you will have to play 2 of them, and we'll go through a couple of the actions here. Now, when you play the 2 cards, you'll have to play one of the topmost left of the board and the other one to the bottom part of the board. So, for example, I'll play this card here. Now, each card has an action at the top, and it's going to be between 1 to 5 actions. I'm going to play the actions relating to the top of the board here first. So we have these cards here. You're going to be playing this card. These cards actually slide in this board. I thought this was really awesome. These cards just slide right on in here, providing you the top part of the card action. Now, the reason for that is because on the bottom of the card, they actually have resource income, which generates at the end of the entire round, which is very important because you sacrifice kind of the action for that round to get that income later. So you'll slide a card in here and slide in a card in here. You'll take the action of the top card. Now, the top card I put in here first is writing an opus. Now, opuses are kind of the meat and potatoes of the game. They're cards that stay out over here, and you have to play another action to activate them, and I'll get that into a minute. So you have the option to purchase any opus you want. You pay an income here. Most of the income for the opuses, and you'll see the cards are in different areas. These are all opuses, actually. These are memories. The costs change depending on the card type. So opuses will always have a cost of not only money, but also the black resource. So you'll pay whatever the card says up top here, along with the additional bonus here, because the cards will shuffle down right as it goes along, making them cheaper. So you'll buy an opus, you'll get the benefits from it. When I buy this card, for instance, and these are indication for victory points, I'll get 6 victory points immediately. I'll move along the track and I'll put this over to my side. This is going to make it available to use on a later turn. The cards will slide down and I'll put out a new card. And again, the cards will change cost depending on what they are, because these are memory cards and these are opuses. Opuses are permanently on your side and you'll be able to do different things with them. I'll get to that in just a minute. Now, for example, how I decided to play it another way, instead of playing the opus and I played a memory action, what it allows me to do is buy a memory card up here instead of the Opus. You'll let me cheat a little bit, right? Just a little bit?
Why not?
Oh, awesome.
You're explaining stuff.
So I have the memory cards up here. This allows me to buy a memory card. The memory cards are over here. They're the top part of well, for lack of a better term, the row. And you basically will pay the cost at the bottom, and it'll usually always be money and a random resource of one of the colors. And you'll get that card, and the difference with these cards is these are upgrading your hands for later turns. When you first buy them though, however, they will replace the card you recently put in the bottom slot. And what this does is it permanently gets rid of the card you put in the bottom slot, removing it from the game. Putting the new card in the bottom slot, giving you, of course, those resources, whatever it gives you at the end of the entire round. That's essentially a way to upgrade your deck as you go along. So it's kind of a little bit of a deck upgrade as well as buying permanent additions to your resource generation. Very, very important. Now, after that, you will always draw back up at the end of the round 2 cards again and continue on. Now, you're going to have 4 rounds. You only have 4 spots available. So eventually going to be down to 1 single card at the end of the round. You will have 1 card that will carry over to the next round. We'll get into some of the other actions here. So that's largely what you're going to be doing with the tableau. You have your other areas here. Now, this is Mozart's journey. He's going to travel around the board. Now, the board is built of these little spaces. Most of them have one-shot bonuses with paths connecting between them and a cost. This is monetary cost, and you will be moving Mozart around and paying the cost as you go to different areas. Wherever he ends up, you can basically move him wherever you want as long as you can pay the cost for each place you go to. And wherever he ends up is what you claim basically when you get there. And it's either going to be a one-time bonus or actually they have endgame bonuses as well. These are called Royal Courts. You'll get an endgame bonus which will permanently go to your side. And as long as you meet the requirements of that card, you will get the bonus at the end of the game. And to do that, you'll play a carriage action. So say it goes around to my next turn. I'm going to play my next set of actions. I'm going to play the carriage action here, put it in the top part, put it in the bottom part here. What other card? I just want resources at the end of the round because you always have to play a second card at the bottom when you play a card at the top. So I'm going to put a carriage action. This lets me move him anywhere on this board as long as I have the money to move him between the different areas. So I could pay whatever I want. Let's say I go here, 2, 4. I'm going to pay 2 and 4. I'll pay out my money, and I'll be able to claim whatever action is there. But there is also a cost when you get there. If you notice, they have a red wheel there. That is the cost in the red resource to be able to claim that bonus. And that's very important because all the resources are required to do different things. And the travel resources are always involved with traveling around and claiming that bonus. So some of them are even higher, like especially for the goals, you have to pay 2. So you got to keep track of that kind of in your head. Once you claim it, that goes off the board and that doesn't refresh till the end of the round. So it's first come, first serve. So now you're wondering, okay, well, I got some cards, I got some bonuses. How do I play the opuses? Well, that's another action. So it's the end of my turn. I'll draw up 2 cards. I have 2 actions left during the game. So this one, I really want to play one of these opuses. I got these opuses out. There's 2 things you can do with these opuses. And the action for that is this icon right here. That's going to allow you to mess with these opuses here. You put this in here. Of course, you always have to put a card underneath. I'm going to slide a card under in here for resources for the next round. And now this card will give me 1 or 2 options. I get to choose one of my opuses here. And I have 2 options available to me. I can either claim a resource off of it. And to do that, you'll turn it sideways. Basically, it's like you're performing the opus. And there's always a cost associated with it, sometimes nothing, but most of the time there's a cost, and it's always the black resource here. And what happens is you pay the cost. In this case, this is going to be 0, but it could be, like say I do this for 1 here. You turn the card sideways, I'd pay the 1 black resource, and I'd get the benefit. So in this case, I'd get 5 money. Now, it's extremely important because that does help for a lot of income generation in this game. So you'll turn it sideways and that'll be my action. But let's say maybe towards late game, maybe say I got better opuses. I'm not going to be using them all. I want to get rid of it. Getting rid of them, selling them off is what it's called, is a very powerful mechanic and help me get very far ahead in the late game of this. So if you notice at the bottom, there's basically a parchment that's selling off the opus. It has a cost as well. It's not for free. So in this case, I'd be paying 2 instead of the 1 I paid. And then you get the benefits here. Now, usually the benefits are always an upgrade to your purse, your maintenance purse, basically your income for every round. So like, for example, if I sold this off, I'd pay 2. This would go up 3. If I was down here, I'd go up 3 spots on my income every round. That's huge. And then you also get victory points. That seal is victory points. I'd also go up 4 more victory points. This card gets permanently removed and it's gone out of the game, but I reaped the benefits. I reaped a huge benefit from that because now I'm going to get a way higher income every round, and I get victory points out of it, which of course is how you win. It's extremely important. So those are the two things you can do with opuses, and you'll gather them as you go along and constantly shed the older ones. And usually at the end of the game, everybody's in a rush to just dump opuses at that point. Usually get points. Unless there's something else going on. I think I did that at the end of the game too. Didn't I dump all my opuses at the end of the game?
And
And
you sure did.
I made it rain in points at the end of the game. So that's a lot of our actions right there. I've already taken you through 4 actions. I have one more action left here, and that is going to be the composition here at the bottom of the board. Now I have a card here that's got the composition icon here. It's this cross right here. We're going to take another icon and slide it into the bottom here because that's our income for every round. Now this lets you use this board at the bottom here. Now if you notice, you have 2 rows of tiles, each in a different category. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each one's a different composer, and each one's have different set of tiles that do different things. Now these can be randomized at the beginning of the game, and they encourage you to use some starter ones, but of course you can later on use whatever ones you want. Now what you do is when you play this action, you have the option to take one of these discs off this board and put it on a corresponding spot on this board. Now if you notice, there's different icons here for each of the different areas on the board accompanying over there. So you get to choose any one of these sections to put that on as long as the icon matches. So say, for example, I wanted to take this off. I'll take this off and I'll put it on one of the violin places on any of these boards. Now here's where it gets a little dicey. So first, when I take it off, I get the bonus here. This will give me 1 income here for the black story points. Now I could choose one of these spots to put it on. Now if you notice, progressively there's going to be a bigger increase in points and what you get, not only what you get, but also at the bottom, the tokens will get more expensive. Now, when I put this down, I'll have to choose a set of tokens at the bottom. I'll have to choose one or the other, basically who I'm sponsoring, which composer I'm sponsoring, and pay the cost. Now, the costs are at the top left corner here. Most often or not, it's a white resource at the bare minimum. Cost in ducats and cost in money, although the earlier ones only have a cost in the white resource. And later on, you have to degrade some of your maintenance, your purse. Basically, you have to bring your purse down. You have to pay that. That's rough. I think that's a rough cost. But the benefits are pretty huge for those later tiles. Now, you put this basically down wherever you want it at, and then the category is what you're buying from, the tiles basically below. You pay the cost of the one you want to sponsor. So let's just say I'm going to sponsor Sadler. I pay this cost, I pay the 1 white, I pay the 2 ducats, let's say I have a second ducat, and then I bring my maintenance down, my income down by 1, I'll get this token. Often these will give you a one-time bonus, like for example, this will give you 2 victory points, like out of the gate when you get it. So I'll move up 2 on the chart. And then what happens is this slots into the board right here, right in the spot where I put the token. Now, sometimes this is very important because it shows not only who you sponsored, which has an effect at the end of the game, but also there will sometimes be reoccurring bonuses. Some of these guys will give you a reoccurring theme. So, for example, when you take a carriage action, this will let you take an extra carriage action when you have this tile on your board. And this also has an effect on endgame scoring as well, not just to get these bonus tiles, but at the end of the game, for each person you sponsor, you will get points. Now, the problem with this is other people will be sponsoring other composers as well. So there are 2 point variables at the bottom of the board. The larger one is the points you'll make for each token in here if the sponsor is the most sponsored out of the group. So for example, say I'm in here and somebody else puts their tokens in there and sponsors the second composer as compared to the first. He is the most sponsored, so I will get less points. I will only get 1 point for this token compared to that damn purple player. I can't imagine who that would be, Tom. We'll get 3 points per each of these at the end instead. So that's huge because you kind of have to watch the board and obviously take into account how many points you're going to be getting and trying to put your sponsor ahead of everybody else because that's going to be more points for you at the end of the game. So that's extremely important. That is all the actions that you'll do, and as you go along, you'll notice that your cards and your actions will get more powerful. You'll have more of them. You have more opportunities to do multiple actions, and your income at the end of the round will also increase. And we'll get to that right now. We have our maintenance phase. So after we've done our 4 actions and I've shown all the actions to you, we're going to go to our maintenance phase. And this is just in between rounds, but it's very important in this game. So at the end of the round, you'll have your story point tracks. What happens is you reset all of your points to 0, and then you'll get income based on what's shown at the bottom. So for example, here I'll get 1, 2, 3 of the black story points, I'll get 1 of the white and 1 of the red. And that's what I'll start my next round with. So you have to kind of pay attention because this can very much tailor how your turn goes next round. You know what I mean? Then you'll get composer rewards. Now, if you're a composer, happens to have some rewards. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Oftentimes it'll have a number 3. I believe I have one on here right now. Let's see, right here. So for example, if I have this composer on here, he'll tell you in phase 3, which is when the maintenance phase is, number 3, you'll get an extra free red resource. Boom. Which can be very helpful, of course. Then we have finances. Finances are what's over here, that track I was talking about, the income track. You get whatever is listed there. So in this case, I'll get 5 ducats. I'll get 2 victory points. I'll move up on the track. And then that is a wild resource. So that means I get to pick any of these resources, one of the black, red, or white, and go up 1 more. Boom. So that could be very powerful as well. And then we have our period bonus. Now, as you play along, there are 5 rounds total for this game. Each round, you'll have cards come out and you'll have a bonus for that period. As long as you, in any way, have that card played or do whatever action it states, you'll get a bonus at the end. So for example, this shows that it has this icon here for your Opus action. When you play the Opus action, for each one that you played, you will get white income. You get white resources. So you'll basically garner even more. Like say I played this, I'll garner 1 more at the start for my next turn because I met the bonus action there. And that will change every round. So each round you'll basically clear out the cards, and that's going to come next. You'll clean up. You basically replace any of these that are missing. You'll replace them. You pull some from the board, so give other people a chance to get more. You replace all of the, replace the ones that are gone. So say that was gone, I'll replace that. They don't clear off at the end of the round. They stay there otherwise. And then what happens is I pour through the cards here and until I get to the next age, to the next section, flip over here and I'll go take us to 5 here. Get rid of this one. Take us to 5, and that'll be our bonus for the next round. Clear out the last 4 of these cards, so that way we get rid of some of the weaker stuff. These cards will slide down, making them cheaper because they're from the prior age of cards, and then put out new cards to the rows. And there we go. We're set up for the next round. After that, you pull all the cards out, and these will be your 8 cards that you will get in addition to the 1 you have left in your hand from the last round to be able to play. And you'll draw back up to 4, restarting the round. The first player token, of course, will move around at that point. So say he was first last game, or last round, I should say. It'll go to me. I'll have these 8 cards that I pulled off my board, shuffle them on up. I'll draw up to 3 more, add it to my current hand. Let's just say this card was in my hand. And I start out again with 4, and we start the process all over again. Now we're going to take a quick look at how a round plays, guys. Hey guys, this is a typical round of Lacrimosa. Tom is leading us, going first, and we're gonna have a little bit of fun here, making music with Mozart, right?
That's right.
Now, you want me to? Do you get annoyed if I call it what you're doing?
No, go ahead and crap! I just hit the whole table.
Yeah.
It's not an earthquake here, people.
Yeah, no, not so much. We're in Florida.
Yeah, go ahead and you can say what I'm going to be doing.
All right. Yeah, and Dr. Wills over here is trying to...
I'm not a doctor.
So, a typical round, we're trying to play our cards here to either get opuses or memories, to travel around and get bonuses as you experience Mozart's journey, or we're also trying to commission composers to fill in the spots of Lacrimosa. Tom is obviously scrutinizing the board for maximum efficiency. He's thinking really hard about this. I think he's got something amazing.
I know what I'm going to be doing.
He might know what he's going to be doing, folks. We're eagerly awaiting to see what he's going to be doing.
I'm slotting my action in the top.
He's slotting something, boys and girls.
And my second card down here will generate that at the end of the turn.
Yep, that is correct.
So I'm going to get one of those and 2 guilders or whatever. What's the money?
Ducats.
Ducats.
It is ducats. Or...
Guilders is what they have in Princess Bride.
Yeah, that's entirely... No, that is the name of the kingdom in Princess Bride. I believe it was Gilder. The Kingdom of Gilder.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to be buying a memory, which are the cards
here.
here.
Insist.
These are the memory cards. They go in your hand, and that's what you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm buying a memory. So this costs me 1, right?
That does cost you indeed 1.
Of any color. Then I bought the memory, and this will replace the one in the bottom. And then this gets discarded. And everything else moves down.
Yep. Got it. He's learning. It's getting scary how much he's learning.
And now it's Dr. Todd's turn.
Oh my god.
No, it's Dr. Wills. Get it right.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Doctor,
I changed my
you
game
get very
plan
upset if you don't call them
because-
doctors, you know.
Yes, yes,
That is very true.
yes, this is very
You
true.
wanted that card, didn't you?
I moved here. Okay, I move.
Yep,
Right,
you move,
so I
you
pay-
travel around
I
experiencing.
pay for 2, so I gotta pay. You gotta draw. Right?
Yep,
so I
draw your
pay
2.
Right. I pay the 2 wheels. 1, 2.
Von Tour.
Okay.
You don't have to use
I
the
get
accent, but that's
this.
fine.
I gain 2 coins for doing it,
Well, screw you, buddy.
and I get the coins back. And then also, I have 1 in 5, so I score 4 victory points.
You don't score that, I think, till later.
Oh, yeah, that's the end. isn't it?
Okay. Okay.
Game.
That's how Anthony's trying to sneak up on
I know,
us.
man. That's yeah.
I'm not trying to
yeah.
sneak up anything.
He's
Talk
always
about
trying to sneak up on something.
Whoa,
Go ahead, sir.
Whoa, whoa.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Whoa,
Go ahead.
whoa, whoa,
I'm done.
whoa, whoa. Are you done?
Yeah, I feel like the whole world can see my hand. Stop looking at my hand.
That is correct.
Stop looking at my hand.
So I want to get an Opus because I love me a good Opus.
It's a penguin, isn't it?
Yeah, that's like, I guess. Let's see, nobody cares about comic strips anymore. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm paying all 9. Paying all 3 of my Mozart points here. I'll just call them Mozart points for the sake of argument. Gonna grab this. Gonna move up 6 on the 6 chart here. Then I'm gonna go up an extra 1 because I bought one that pertains to my wheelhouse. And that is my turn. And then
See,
I
I
draw
told
back
you you were
up.
lying in wait.
I am not lying in any weights. There's no weights. Don't be paranoid. It's okay. It's okay.
So it's my turn again.
Yes, it is your turn.
Oh, I don't have anything good to do right now.
Tom has nothing good to do right now. Everybody hear that? So the problem is it's a cost effect thing in this game, and you got to really maximize what you're doing in this game.
Okay, I think what I am going to have to do is play one of these. Do the composer thing.
Sure.
Put this down here. That, and I'm gonna put this one down here. And then I'm going to drop this one on here.
Sure.
And then I'm going to have to pay these.
Correct.
Okay, so if you're grabbing that one, it's this.
Oh,
It's okay. It's
oh,
okay.
wait.
This side is the other guy.
Yeah.
See this guy.
Oh, but I
is
didn't.
this guy?
I wanted to drop. I wanted to drop that
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
because.
Sure. Sure. And that's for this one. The other side's for this one.
Okay, so this one. So I got 1 feather thing.
5 money.
5 money, and then
you
I
don't have
lose
to
1,
pay
but I
that,
gain
right,
1.
because you gained 1. Right.
And then-
you lost. Right. You gained
Yeah,
1, so you
correct.
Right.
Okay, so I gotta pay 5, and then 1 of these, and this replaces this here.
Yes.
So what does that mean?
That means that's just the composer you're sponsoring. That's basically it. So you paid your purse, but you got a purse back. There you go. That's just the composer you're sponsoring. It means at the end you get certain victory points.
Okay,
I put that in there. I am also composing.
I just didn't have the right cards. I had to compose.
I feel you.
Well, that makes sense. I'm with you on that one.
Okay, I get the guy. I get +1 here. I get this for 1. I get this for 1. I put my guy here, so I want this a 1, so I gotta pay the white, and then 3 coins. I get 2 coins back. I get this a 1.
All right. So basically, we're sponsoring certain composers, 2 of them, and as we fill in there and sponsor them, they give us their bonuses basically on the end of our board. Is what we're doing with that, guys. Everybody seems to be hot in that action right now, huh?
Mm.
Are you done, sir? Are you
Yes,
done,
sir.
Dr.
Done.
Wells?
Done.
All right,
Done.
just checking.
Done.
I'm gonna sponsor one of my things
I
here.
think I'm missing cards. Well, we're all. Oh, never mind.
Well, you always draw back up, then you're
Yeah,
out.
no, I know, but I'm going to be at a point where I don't have any cards in my hand.
I mean, that's fair. That is fair.
How is that?
Well, no, I'll have one card left, and that's what you should have, right?
Yeah, well, there should be one.
There's always one at the end.
I don't have that.
What do you mean?
You have 5 in your
You
hand.
have 5 in your hand.
I have 5 in my hand. I know.
You should have 4 in your hand.
Yeah, so one of them
Oh, my bad. That's what I did wrong.
Dr. Wills forgot. He
Sorry.
doesn't teach math, okay? He's not that kind of person.
I might have. It might have been this one. It doesn't matter which one it was.
That's fair. That is fair.
That was 5 cards in your hand. It's 4 cards in your hand. I
It
apologize.
is indeed, it is indeed 4 cards in your hand. You got too many cards in your hand.
Got too much time. Oh my god.
Yes.
Yes.
I win. Thanks. That was awesome. I love that. Actually, you know what? I'm going to swap this around. Sorry. That one's fine. I'm actually going to do a travel, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I got a victory point for playing one of my thingies.
Ah, you caught up to me, you.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, I'm going to buy a memory.
Is it fine?
I'm buying this memory here, so it gives me 1.
Computer.
So I'm going to drop myself down 1 to pay for it. And I get this to replace that. And this goes away.
Discarded forever.
Woo! I'm excited. Are you excited? I'm excited.
I'm a little excited.
That is very exciting. So guys, this is a really, really awesome game. A lot of it has to do with basically managing the different resources you get to trade for other resources. And in the meantime, getting victory points out of it. Opuses will get you victory points. Memory cards will improve your hands every round because those are the cards that you receive at the end of the round to basically play the next round. And they will increase in usability and bonuses that they give you and actions that they give you.
I'm gonna buy a memory.
How are you liking this game so far?
It's quite fun. It's took a little bit to get the
I get 1.
motion down, you
Yeah.
know, making sure that we're
Yeah.
doing the right things, and it's
Buy
like with a lot of games
the
that
memory.
are this
You want to
complicated.
buy a memory, sir?
that one.
This one?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
How much I owe for it? I owe a coin and
A resource of your choice.
Coin and a resource of my choice, which would be that
But a
one.
lot like
And
these games, it
this
just takes a little while to
replaces this.
get into the role
Well,
of
we'll
it.
say the components are gorgeous. The iconography does take a little bit to get
camera's
used
saying
to.
something.
It is definitely a Euro style game.
But it's definitely beautiful.
Oh, yeah, without doubt. But it is interesting because you're managing and spending resources constantly in this game, and then you're also dictating what kind of resources you get every round, which I thought was kind of cool. And you're also limited by your actions, so you have a limited amount of time to get things done, which makes sense for a Euro. For example, I got a level 3 card here, which is much better than the prior card. So not only do I get to do the action, but I go up on this here, and I also got a go up here, in addition to taking the action. And during your round, you always play 2 cards. We'll go, check out our how to play video, of course, later, but we always play the 2 cards. So I'm kind of dictating.
This is going to be the how to play video.
Oh, is this going to be the how to
It's
play
going to be
video?
at the end of the how to play video.
No, the how to play video goes through the rounds. Like we're going to be talking like how to actually play the game in that, correct?
Before that, and then we're going to say, then you're going to say, and then here's an example round, and then we're going to edit to this video.
Outstanding.
And just to give them the example round at the end.
Okay, well, whatever. I'll talk about whatever anyway. So I'm just talking mechanics now, but I don't want to bore people with mechanics. So you know what I mean.
Too late.
You shush. So I got that spiff, and now I'm gonna take my Opus action here. I want this one here, so I'm gonna use my dupers here to. Now I gotta pay 1, and I gain 1, and I pay 1. I pay my 4, and I pay 2 of this, and this goes over on my board. And I get a permanent double tap action with that guy, which is awesome. And that is my turn, sir.
Ah, so now it's my last turn.
It is indeed your last turn. I just realized that I think I only have one of these actions now around.
Well, I'm going to just have to play my aria. Actually, I'm going to sell my aria, so I get to lose 1 on the Mozart, and then I get 2 victory points. And that's the end of my turn. So I get this last card into my hand.
Yep. That you do, sir. That you do.
Okay. I get 2 coins for having it. I sell an aria, pay the Mozart. I gain a
Pay the Mozart.
thing.
Is that what you
I
said?
gain 2.
Yeah, pay a Mozart point.
Pay the Mozart.
Give me
Yes, I
2 victory points, please.
just like that. Pay
Here.
the Mozart.
That goes away.
Okay.
And then I get to do it again.
Wow.
And I'm going to gain 7. Wait a minute, is this the last round? No, I got one
No,
more.
we got
one
more rounds. We got
We got
more
one.
cards.
We got one more round.
One more round.
One more round, sir.
I get 7. Okay. Your last turn.
Thank you. Well, I could pay to go there, but I think none of those help me in any way. So, now some of these bonuses are really good. Some of the times they give you bonuses based on what opuses you have. I don't have any of those opuses, so I care less. So I'm gonna.
Oh, I gotta tap that because I used it.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
So,
Would I have gotten 2 victory points when I went up 1 and then went back down 1?
no,
Okay.
because you have to pay for it first, then you get it.
Ah.
So it went down.
So I went down 1 and up
Yeah,
1.
correct. All right, so now I need to get. Now, one interesting thing about this game is you can always convert stuff. So you can always convert 1 to 1 resource here
Yeah, we should
to
have
1 money.
converted it.
So I'm
So
gonna
1,
convert
2,
1.
3. So I would get 5. 5.
2, 3. So we get 3
That's the
money,
last
which I'm immediately going to convert to one of these resources here. So I can trade in one of my Opus here. And I can trade in her, but I kind of want the victory points on this one. It's not serving me well in any way. So I'm going to trade in this one. And this one's going to give me 1 upgrade here and 2 vic points.
Oh, shit.
And then I get 1 more for trading in one of that type. So I got 3 vic points. And because I did this, I get to double the action. So I'll also turn this over for a measly 2. There you go. Not too shabby, right?
Okay.
And that's a typical round.
That is a typical round, yes. So, do I want me to end cap it here?
Well, but we do at the end of the round.
Oh, yeah, we got to do maintenance.
Maintenance.
We got to do maintenance at the end of the round. So now, after everybody's played their 4 cards, or I should say 8 cards, to 1 on each side, we reset the story point track. So everybody resets back to 0. Obviously, we've already traded in for money because you do that anytime. Then we have our composer rewards, which are to the right. So, like my guy will give me 1 here. Oh, actually, and part of the storyboard track is you go back up based on what you have income at the bottom of your board here.
So this and this?
Yes. So you get your composer reward, and then you also have your bottom of the track
I get 2
reward.
victory points?
I get a victory point.
You get 2?
Yes, sir.
There you go.
I get 1 more wagon wheel, another wagon wheel, a feathery thing,
And then you
and
get
a victory point. And then 1 Mozart. And then I get 6 cash. Could you please hand me a 5?
there you go.
Get 6 cash.
So you get your finances as well.
3 victory points. And 1 of anything. And I think I will take that 1 of anything to be a Mozart.
I get 1 victory point.
Do you though?
Yes.
But do you?
Yes.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, and before you pull your
Give
cards
me a victory
out,
point, please.
before you get your cards out, we will get, for every aria we played, we get 1, whatever that symbol is.
Yeah, that is, yeah, that's simple, yeah. So, like, I'll get 2 because I played 2 of them.
Okay, so now we
Oh,
take
I
the,
did 1 of them. What did you get for it?
Huh? Oh, you get one of the white resources. Wow, stereo that
and we
one.
take the bottom
Last
4 down,
last 4 cards. Slide them over
move these puppies,
and ditch the rest of the
ditch
cards.
all these until we get to the next era.
Which is the last era.
Yeah. That's the era bonus. We're on era 5.
And then refill this board as well.
Do I get the first player token?
Yeah, you're the tuning fork.
What does this mean?
If you have one of each of those type out off your board,
Wow.
you will get
Wow.
7 victory points. Wow, he says. And we are good for the next round. You gotta play your cards, reshuffle, reset your cards that you've used for the round. And we're good to go, boys and girls.
And that was a typical round.
It is a very, very deep game. There's a lot to consider in this game. We had a lot of fun with this, didn't we, Tom?
Oh, we sure did.
There's a lot going on. It does look like it should be complex, but it really isn't. It's very much a heavy Euro game with a very focus on managing your resources and how you get those resources. And thematically, it fits beautifully. It really is a gorgeous, gorgeous game. And the rounds will continue on. Like I said, you'll have 5 rounds. At the end of the game, we'll add up points based on ducats you also have, how much leftover resources you have in your story, and we usually have also by that point the different end game goal cards. You'll score these as well as long as you meet the requirements for them. Like if you have 1 and 2 and 1 and 4 on the board here, you'll score 4 points. At that point, and I think who was it? Was it the Dr. Wills who won the last game, wasn't it?
Yes, he totally started kicking at the end.
Yeah, it's because he's a math teacher. He cheated. But yeah, we had a great time with it, and that's literally the whole game right there. You'll do 5 rounds of that, and then that'll be it. Guys, this game, I'll tell you, was a lot of fun. It was just a lot of fun. We had a good time with it, and it captured everything perfectly. But that's for a whole nother review. I hope this helped you guys give you an idea what you're getting into when you get Lacrimosa when it comes out. Pay attention to Devir's site. When is it available? Do we know?
I have no idea.
We have no idea.
Go there now and find out.
Go there now and find out. Thanks, guys, for taking another snapshot. We hope you enjoyed this look at Lacrimosa. Of course, don't forget to like, subscribe if you like our other content. And don't forget, guys, game on. Thank you.